Hey guys, good morning from South Africa, although it's probably not morning when you're watching this, or it might be. But I'm here in South Africa on the coast, and it's a beautiful day. And God's creation is, and His power and His glory on vivid display with the beauty all around me. I got the unique opportunity to come here and do some speaking, and I'm staying in a home that's right here on the beach. And I got a great view of the beach, and it's really lifted up. It's a few hundred feet above the beach. There's a steep decline down this hill, full of brush, and really you don't want to climb up or down. You got to walk around to get to the beach or go back to the house. It's really kind of an impenetrable wall, if you will, from the beach to the house. And that's my connection to the account of Joshua and Jericho. We're looking at this unique event in history. Of course, kind of looking back, God has led Israel finally going into the promised land. They've just crossed the Jordan River, where God miraculously stopped the river, showing His power, giving them confidence in Him. And of course, before that, they had sent the spies into Jericho, and Rahab had protected the spies, and therefore she gets God's protection, Israel's protection, as they come into Jericho. She believed in their God. And so they're going to the promised land, and their first stop, their first obstacle is the city of Jericho. In a real sense, it is the first fruits of the land. And it will seem that God's making a unique display of His power here with this very first city to be captured and destroyed as they go into the promised land. And so He gives them a very unique battle plan, one that wasn't used before or after. And we look at the event, and it's clear that He wants to show it's Him. It's His power on display. It's Him working through all these things to bring them victory, so they would trust Him more and more. And we learn to trust Him as well as we read about these real historical events. And so, of course, as you know, the battle plans is they go to the city of Jericho, and they are to march around the city with the Ark of the Covenant. They're not to say anything. And for each day, for 6 days, they march around the city one time with the priest blowing the trumpet. And then on the seventh day, they march around the city 7 times in accordance with what God had told them to do. And after the 7th time, the people give a great shout, and the walls come crumbling down, and they run into Jericho and to defeat Jericho easily after the walls had crumbled. And of course, Rahab and her family were spared just as was promised. Israel kept their promise to her. God keeps His promise to her. In that sense, God always keeps His promises. She is spared, and they get the city of Jericho as the first fruits of the promised land. And in a unique, supernatural way, putting God's power on display. And so as we look at that event, we see God's deliverance of that city to Israel. And you know, really, recent archaeological finds have confirmed this event in a powerful way. Archaeologists used to scoff at this. They didn't think they could find the right remains at the right time in the right place, and come to find out in recent discoveries, you'll see more of this later on in the lesson, recent archaeological evidence confirms what we know from God's Word. It puts the actual event of Jericho in the right time frame. We found remains in the right time frame for the biblical time frame of this event. And what we find in the rubble confirms how it all took place according to the biblical account. And just another great example of how eventually people will catch up to God's Word. All right, real evidence, real science, real archaeology will catch up to the truth revealed in God's Word. Sometimes we've got to wait on them a little bit, but they will catch up. But this unique deliverance of that city to Israel by God's supernatural power in a very unique way was to show Israel that this is all about God. He will give them victory in this land as He takes them into the promised land. They just need to trust Him. And that's a great reminder to us to trust our God. He is worthy of our praise, our adoration, and our trust for now and forever. You guys have a good day.